Yeah, we back. Now, today's going to be a quick video, tapping in. Now, as you can see, take a look up on the screen. Burkina Faso completes the nationalization of 5 gold mining assets. Now, today's video is going to be a follow-up to the one I dropped a couple weeks ago, where I had to debunk some false propaganda, some misinformation, some disinformation going around saying that the Captain Ibrahim Traoré, gave away 85% of his gold supply away to Russia. Now, if that was the case, how the hell did he take back 5 gold mining assets if he already gave 85% away to the so-called Russians, right? Of course, I had to break that down in the video and let it be known that the deal between Burkina Faso and Russia only pertained to a single gold mine out of 17 large-scale industrial-sized gold mines in the country and over 400 gold mines in total. That deal was only in regards to one single gold mine, but somehow that got twisted, and you had people going around talking about the captain signed away 85% of the gold supply away over to Russia, when in reality, that gold mine only pertains to less than 5% of the national output when it comes to the gold supply. But anyways, now 5 gold mining assets have been taken back by the nation and transferred over to the state-owned company. I believe the state-owned company is called SOPAMIB, which I believe is called Société de Participation Minière de Burkina. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's jump straight into the article. The government of Burkina Faso has nationalized 5 gold mining assets and given them over to Société de Participation Minière de Burkina, also known as SOPAMIB, a state-operated miner. This finalizes a process that started August of last year to increase control over its mineral resources, according to a decree published on Wednesday. The government established SOPAMIB, that's the state-owned mining company, to manage and operate key mining assets across the country. It began the nationalization process last August and acquired 2 mines formerly owned by Endeavour Mining. Furthermore, in April, the government announced plans to increase its stake in several foreign-run industrial mines. It aims to boost national earnings from the country's mineral wealth. In addition, it transferred 2 operating gold mines and 3 exploration licenses from Endeavour Mining and Lilium subsidiaries. The transaction involving these assets was interrupted. As a result, the state stepped in to take control. Also, this move strengthens government oversight of Burkina Faso's most valuable resources. Now, time out. Now, if the captain gave away 85% of his gold supply over to Russia, like the detractors were saying, like the liars were saying, right, then there wouldn't be anything left to nationalize, because according to the detractors, he already gave everything away. Right now, in that video, I debunked it mathematically. I already told you how many industrial mines there are, how many gold mines there are in total, and how many mines were involved in the deal between Burkina Faso and Russia, right? So anybody going around saying the captain gave away 85% of his gold supply, I'm sorry to tell you, unfortunately, it goes to show that a lot of individuals was falling asleep during math class, right? Unfortunately, a lot of individuals was not paying attention during math class. You was cracking jokes during math class. You was trying to talk to the girls during math class. You was, beatboxing or freestyling during math class, and you was not paying attention and copying down the notes. Unfortunately, that's what that showed. Anyway, let's continue. The acquisition is in line with the state's policy of sovereign ownership of mining resources to optimize exploitation for the benefit of the population. Burkina Faso is Africa's 4th largest gold producer, with over 57 tons of gold produced in 2023. The government plans to continue nationalization efforts aiming to increase state income. In addition, it expects higher revenues following a 27% surge in gold prices this year. Also, officials have framed the reforms as essential to reclaiming control over national resources. Now, like I said, man, you heard what they said in the article, right? The price of gold has surged 27% in a single year. In a single year. Yeah. So like I said, man, it's definitely a good time to be in possession of some gold, especially if you're a black man, the African man, when you have an endless, never ending supply of gold that has never ended after, hundreds and thousands of years. But anyway, let's continue. I want to switch lanes over to Mali real quick, right? As you can see, take a look up on the screen. A tussle for a gold mine may shake Western investors. Now, as you already know, there has been a legal dispute, a tax dispute between the military government of Mali and Barrick Gold, one of the largest gold mining corporations on the planet. Now, Barrick Gold, they owe $500 million in taxes. They refuse to pay their taxes, right? They refuse to pay the $500 million tax. And because of that, an arrest warrant was issued for the CEO of the company. And now the military government is now moving in to take control over the entire gold mining asset in totality, right? The entire gold mining complex. The government is attempting to take it over through a legal maneuver. Now, Barrick is obviously opposed to this, and they even put out a statement on their official website. Take a look up on the screen. Barrick opposes Mali government's attempt to take over the day-to-day operations at Loulo-Gounkoto. That's the gold mining complex, right? They put that out on their official website. And they even went as far a couple weeks ago. Take a look up on the screen. Barrick asked the World Bank to intervene in Mali proceedings, right? So now they're calling on the international Western institutions to defend them, to lobby on their behalf, right? To make sure that the gold mine complex remains firmly in the hands of the multinational, while the government themselves is trying to take over the gold mine through a legal maneuver, right? The legal justification being that you committed tax fraud, right? You broke the laws of the nation, and because of that, you breached the contract. Therefore, we are now in our legal rights to take over the asset entirely, because as a party in a contract, you fail to uphold your obligations. Now, let's continue. A court in Bamako is due to decide if Mali's military government can take over the operations at Barrick's Loulo-Gounkoto complex. The hearing is set for Monday after being postponed 5 times, likely a reflection of the sensitivities of the case and its wider implications. The high-stakes brinksmanship over such a significant asset is being monitored closely in neighboring countries, where rulers are devising plans to generate better returns from their minerals. Now, that's significant because when you see nations taking steps like these and making moves like these, the other nations are watching, right? The other leaders are watching. That's why you even have the president of Botswana, right? The president of Botswana who was, bigging up the captain and talking about what he admires about the captain. Man, the other day I seen the president of Botswana in a full military uniform, bro. Take a look up on the screen, right? The president of Botswana, he's a civilian, right? He's not a military man. I see my boy in the military uniform, right? Like, listen, that's what these nations and these companies don't want, right? They don't want a domino effect. They don't want to see, because that's human nature. Human nature is, you see one person do something and then you want to get a piece of the action too, right? If somebody makes a deal and he makes a bunch of money, man, I want to go make a similar deal too. So what they're trying to do is not only neutralize what's happening right now, but they're trying to contain it from spreading like a virus, like a pathogen, right? They want to contain it. They don't want the virus to spread. They don't want other nations, other leaders to get ideas and want to renegotiate contracts or take back the mining assets altogether. What they want is to contain the contagion, right? So that's really one of their main concerns. So yeah, of course, I'll be monitoring, the events and the developments. But yeah, man, it's your boy Nevercard. That's the link. Back in the Billy, yes indeed. Cash App in the description. Support the Patreon, NTD1814. Link in the description. Pin a comment at the top. Support the album, Sahel 1816. Go to my homepage, go to my playlist section, enjoy the album, and I'm gone. Peace.
Took on my losses and now I got racks. Took on my losses and made that shit back. Platinum and gold, I need plenty of plaques. Making my enemies empty the stash. Feel like a me, I feel like Chiani. African gold is all over my body. African diamonds adorning my fingers. African kid when you look at my features. Enemy watching, I gotta get paid. Enemy watching and stalking my page. Watching my moves and they study my ways. Copy my energy, riding my wave. Enemy watching me like an obsession. Heart of a king, I don't need no acceptance. No, they gon' try but can't stop the progression. No, they gon' try but can't stop the ascension. Foot on the gas and I gotta go hard. Straight to the top, I've been down for too long. Plotting revenge, I'ma make them regret it. Ain't no more talking, I got too much leverage. Talking uranium, diamonds and gold. Keep that shit real, I wish death on my foes. Keep that shit real, I ain't blocking my blessings. Stacking my profit and then I invest it. Feeling untouchable, energy sacred. When I pull up, know my enemies hate. Setting up shop at a secret location. Chopper gon' sound like a standing ovation. Moving in silence, I never been regular. One of a kind, I ain't got no competitors. Son of a king, I'm the kingdom inheritor. Do what I want, I don't care what you telling us. Say to myself, me and my team. Walk in the spot, but they knowin' my name. Beautiful passenger, bet she gon' ride. Keep it authentic, I'm never gon' change. Always been solid, I'm built to survive. Gotta stay focused, I'm deep in the game. Never surrender, I got too much pride. Took on my loss